Now, depending on your size of slab, you're gonna have to determine which of the cardboard templates that you're gonna use to cut out your square pieces. So if you've got a small piece of slab, you'll choose this one, or a medium size, but we're gonna be cutting out 6. So choose a size, make sure that you can cut out 6, and then we'll proceed. All right, so since I know that my piece of slab is big enough to accommodate 6 of these, this size here, I'm gonna make sure that I start somewhere to where I know that I've got enough room to cut it out. Now, when you're cutting, make sure that the blade is straight up and down. You don't go at it at an angle, because you won't get the true size of it. So you're just gonna cut out all around the square, making sure the blade is straight up and down, and make sure you're cutting straight edges. So your first piece should look something like this. Carefully set that one aside, and then do 5 more that are that same size. Be sure to keep your square pieces laying down flat. Now we're going to cut angles on these using an angle cutter. And by flipping it over like this, you will go and get the angle cutter and then line it up to where this flat part here is going to be rubbing along the surface, and you're just going to cut an angle like that. So I'll try to do this to where y'all can see it. Notice how it cut a 45-degree angle. Then you're going to turn it and do this on all sides, carefully sliding it along to cut that angle. So now you've got those two. You'll do this the whole way around on this piece. All right, be sure and carefully cut all the remaining squares with 4 angles. So you'll do a 45-degree angle around all of your squares. All right, choose the square that you don't mind, it's not going to be seen. This will be the bottom square. The bottom square will be scored all the way around. So on that edge, that 45-degree angle, you're going to score it all the way around. Set that aside. Choose the other tiles that or the squares that you want to be that you want to be on the side, because these will be able to create the walls around like that. So I want these 4 to be facing outside, but you're only going to score 3 sides. So I'm going to score 3 sides of each one, leaving 1 side smooth. Okay, at this point, you should have 1 square that's scored on all sides, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 that are just scored on 3 sides, leaving 1 that's not scored at all. You want it to be just smooth. Now we're going to put them together. So choose your one that's got scoring on all 4 sides, and then choose one that's scored on 3 sides, and you're going to apply slip, and then you're going to attach it where the angles meet up. So if you watch this, if you place them on there and then make sure they're lined up to create a 90-degree angle, clean up the slip, make sure that that corner is nice and flat and smooth. Okay, so now you've got one wall of your box. You're going to choose another one that's got the 3. However, you're going to put slip on 2 sides. So the bottom and this side, so it'll connect here and down here. Since we got slip there, and it's scored, and you're going to attach it like that. Make sure all the corners and edges meet up. Then you're going to take the next one and do the same thing. Applying slip on those 2 sides so that it'll fit there and right there, and attach it as well. You want to make sure as you're attaching these walls, putting these pieces together, that it's not losing its square shape. All right, now on this last piece, you will be putting slip on all 3 sides because it is going to be attaching to all 3 places right there. This is the final wall that you're applying. And then just carefully put it in place. Make sure you tighten those edges. You might have to go through and wipe up the slip that got squeezed out, but that's fine. Now we're going to make a handle for this last piece. This is going to be the piece that goes on top, but we need something to hold it in place and something to be able to pick it up. So just get a random piece of clay, roll it up into a ball, and then you can start mashing it into like a teardrop shape. Once you've done that, you've got leverage to pick it up. So it's got a good ergonomic shape where your fingers can grab onto it, because this is going to be the knob to pick up this piece. Okay, so once you get it in the teardrop shape, you can flatten it out on its sides. I just took it and made it kind of squarish like. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to attach this little knob by scoring right there, and choose it right in the center. Score it a little bit right there. Put a little dab of slip on it and press. And that makes a little handle for your box. You're going to let that dry and set it aside. However, before you do, make sure that your lid fits on all sides. And if it looks like it fits pretty flush, then you've successfully made a lidded box. All right, one thing you're going to want to keep in mind, that if you've been successful on making this, that all those squares fit together nicely. that it didn't get warped or bent out of shape, that you have no scoring on this top side here. It's got to be smooth on those top sides right there, and no scoring on the angles of your lid so that it'll fit smoothly onto your box like that.